Ooh.
And what a great way to start that off.
Oh, we started. My God, that's disappointing. We're some fucking pinnacle of human achievement right here.
We are. I mean, look, we even unlocked the bandit on your profile.
What about Smokey?
He is Smokey. And the man, like, look, smoke bomb, boom.
There you go. 2 for the price of 1. You cannot complain there.
Well, I mean, you could. If you really wanted to. This guy's whole thing is that he fires, like, literally as fast as you, like, pull the trigger.
Well, welcome everyone who's listening in today. We're playing Risks Rain. This is Ben.
This is Clayton. I'm playing. Ben's sitting on a comfy chair.
It's very comfy. And very red, too. Well...
Can I make a joke about you not being able to distinguish colors earlier?
Okay, so I'm like weird colorblind where I it's slight, but I have problems distinguishing like red and orange from each other and like blue and green, but it's only if they're close and together. And we're eating a shit ton of pixie sticks right now, and apparently earlier he said he was eating red ones, and I'm like, what? Where are the red ones? And I was holding red ones in my hand. But I thought with orange ones, but I thought they were not.
That's the joke.
Well, I was going to say before we actually started recording, Halo 5 apparently is on its way out, and I've got to say, kind of wish the Master Chiefs, like, I'm perfectly fine with Halo as a franchise continuing forever, because I actually love it, but I kind of wish Master Chief did die in 3, because, I mean, it's at a point where it's like, what is he gonna, you know, is his end game to, like, get to Earth and raise a family with Cortana or something? Have, like, cyborg AI babies
with his cyber dick.
Like, I mean, I know
it just seems. I mean, like, not to go off topic, but I mean, I just feel like perhaps the reproductive organs would not be something you necessarily left in place in a cybernetic conversion.
Well, I read the Halo books, and actually I can't remember whether or not they discussed themes of romance, but
or sexual inadequacy.
I'm really concerned where they're taking this whole Master Chief thing, because when 4 came out, all the imagery and everything was him with like this like stranger cloak, and it's like I don't know, it's weird, and I don't like it. And 4 was a weird game. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't a good Halo game.
Yeah, nobody saw me miss that.
Miss what?
Yeah, exactly. See? Nobody saw it.
Good. You're great at this.
Shut up.
Hey, there's some pinchers.
Just teleport.
Now, your goal is to stay alive. Vagrant, is that the boss?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's all those colored balls. Is that thing launching it, or is that you?
Yeah, that's its attack.
No, I thought it was trying to pull in Boger. Wax. I don't play Invoker, so I don't know.
Oh, ow. I'm dumb.
Are you gonna die?
No.
I don't believe you. We really need to finish ODST. We need to pick up a copy of that and actually, maybe we'll do it here.
Oh, what now?
Tough times. I know
This is
tough
incoming.
times.
Oh, wow. I had a drone this whole time. I totally forgot about it.
I know tough times.
Have you had some tough times?
One time the muffler fell out.
Ah, yes. The wrestling references no one will hopefully get.
Maybe with one person. Okay, a muffler is, you know, because wrestlers, they're grabbing each other all over the place, and
All over the place.
so, you know, especially with the bigger guys, you know, they sweat in between their cheeks, and
In your sensitive places.
so to keep things from showing or touching the other performer, they do what they call muffler, and that's where they take a wad of toilet paper, and they, from what I've heard, they don't put it up their butt, they kind of just wedge it in the cheeks as a muffler. And apparently
It's to keep the low rumbling from disturbing the audience.
apparently this wrestler named Dusty Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, way back when, accidentally had his fall out in the middle of a match, and a bunch of people thought he was wearing a used tampon or had a used tampon inside himself. I mean, the 80s were
The 80s was a weird time, man.
strange times. I lived in it for one whole
Half a
4
year.
months, 6 months, right? But
Yeah. I was there, man.
How damp are these caverns?
Well, you can see from the fungal growth, they probably need to wipe.
That's damp.
They need some antiperspirant at least. Perhaps a hot shower and a blow dryer
Yeah, I was
would
just
assist them.
I zoned out because the music in this game is really good.
I know, it's got a really good, like, kind of lo-fi, but not totally chiptune-y vibe to it.
This track here almost really reminds me of like Dave. Which, yeah, I mean, Damn Swamp, big surprise, but like it's like
In a good way.
it's like mysterious and magical, but also kind of dangerous. You know, where it's like self-discovery in that mystic place that you feel uncomfortable with. But
Because you could maybe get eaten by giant tree worms, but, you know, maybe it's worth it or something.
it's worth it to find yourself.
And get force powers.
Oh, yeah. It's always worth it when you get force powers.
Man, I would have used force powers so bad.
Dark side.
No, like how Anakin used them to be lazy all the time.
So dark side.
Well, I mean, like,
It
before
starts
he
with
went.
cutting fruit for pretty girls. It ends with you murdering children.
I guess, man. Well, I mean, like, at the same time, if I had the physical finesse to do this, I'd totally go Kyle Katarn idle animation whenever I'm cutting my beard, just use my lightsaber for it. Because why wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I've been playing KOTOR recently, and just got to the part where Bastila, you can convince her to use the Force to trip someone. I can't remember who it was at the moment.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I
convince-
totally forget this part.
Yeah, and she's like, I would never use my powers for something so trivial, but you can
The
convince her,
trivial.
you know, but you can convince her to do it anyways.
No, do it, dude. It'll be totally hilarious. We'll totally trip this guy. It'll be funny.
Oh, what though? Like, I don't know. Run into, like, you're going to your office meeting, right? You run into the room butt naked, moon your boss, but then you run out of the room, throw your clothes on, and come in and mind trick everyone and make them forget what happened.
I don't think that's how mind tricks work, but...
Jedi mind tricks.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think you can just, like, completely erase, like, a shocking memory like that. I don't know. I mean, they did erase, like, Revan's entire, like, military career there, so...
Did they ever explain, like,
Yeah, I don't know. They don't really go into detail with it, I
how
guess.
they did that?
Yeah, like, they just... Yeah, it's like we use the Force. It's like, you can't just explain everything with we use the Force. It's like, no, how, tell me how the Force lets you do that. Because you know...
Why didn't they do that on
no
Darth Vader?
reasons.
You know, Anakin, oh hey, you become Darth Vader. Let's undo that.
Well, probably because Yoda knew by now that that's like a bad idea. Well, I mean, I guess in Revan's case, it had a net positive effect.
Well, actually, I don't know. Which is the canon?
Canon, he's light side.
I think he's actually... Or, like,
No, because Old Republic, he shows up again.
in 2?
No, like in the Old Republic, the MMO.
Oh, yeah. I didn't...
I played it briefly. I tried to like it. I really did. I couldn't get into it. It was too MMO-y.
I'm just not a grind person. I mean, if I find it tedious to grind in Pokemon, when I'm not going to want to do the KOTOR experience, but, you know, apparently there's this whole, if you're like in a party, you all choose the dialogue option and it just picks one at random or like the most popular.
That actually was really interesting when I did that, because it meant that it was basically like what you got to think of it is like a bunch of, like, your party gets together, you have opposing viewpoints or whatever.
Yeah, but what if you're stuck with an idiot and like?
Well, I mean,
games are serious business.
I was a Jedi and I was stuck with a smuggler who like didn't give a crap. Or no, other way around. I was playing the smuggler. Nemo was playing the Jedi. And what happened was it was like our moral decision would basically roll for initiative. See who blurts it out first. You know, so I was like trying to be the good guy, but like not at the expense of my own hide, you know. But you know, his character was obviously being like totally old school Jedi selfless.
I think, because I've admittedly, the furthest I've delved into the MMO lands was RuneScape in like 2000.
Hey man, RuneScape was good.
Oh, it was.
It was weird.
Not the way I played it, but it was good.
I remember I played it until I lost all my items because one of my friends left me to die in a dungeon. And then I was just like, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done.
I got to like level 30, and because I was, you know, 14 or whatever at the time, something like 12, 13, 14, and I was just raging Batman. Instead of enjoying any of the actual game, I just stood around the cities trying to flirt with game girls.
Dude, you know what's really weird?
Hold on.
My sister was a subscriber to RuneScape.
Really?
She took it way serious. So I might ask her about, like, some of her old RuneScape days, like, trenches stories or whatever.
I don't think you realize just how pathetic what I really do was.
Dude, everybody did that one. Well, okay, wait, how old were you?
Like 12, 13,
okay.
Maybe 14 at the oldest. Well,
I mean,
I was the guy who was like standing around in like the main marketplace in the big city. Like,
buying GM.
no, you know, it's always like, what's your ASL?
Well, I mean, like, at the time, like, the internet was a weird and new place, and you didn't know for sure if, like, this was a legit thing, like, girls existed on the internet.
I probably cybered just so many 40-year-old men playing with other 15-year-old girls.
Good. That's how it should be. That's how blooming sexuality happens. Is you accidentally flirt with a bunch of, like...
pedophiles.
Wow, now that I say that, maybe you should go to a shrink, man. See if you need some of that trauma looked at.
I actually didn't do a lot of that part of it. I honestly would always get distracted in my...
Oh yeah, double jump.
Ho-ho. Well, like, okay. I would always go to the wilderness. This was my ploy when I was like 12, because I was apparently incredibly pathetic. I would go to the wilderness because I found a spot where a steel short sword would spawn every 10 minutes. So what I would do is
every 10 minutes?
Yeah.
What'd you do for 10 minutes?
Well, I stood around. I would log out of the game, wait 10 minutes, log back in.
Oh, okay.
And then pick it up.
Well, alright, to make you feel better, when I first started playing EverQuest, our dial-up connection was so bad, I'd go to a new area, I would like make myself lunch, eat it, and still be waiting.
Oh.
Just the load times and getting everybody's, you know, position information from the web.
I remember trying to play Oblivion on a 2004 E-machine. Because I rented it.
You poor soul.
I remember, well, okay, we had a Millennium Edition, Gateway Millennium Edition that we got, I guess, the year they came out. And we had that until I was 15 years old. I got a job at Panera Bread, worked up all summer in working, you know, 20 whatever hours a week. You know, I put all my money into like a $500 everything including E-machine from Best Buy, which of course was a piece of shit by that point. Half because of the porn and half because of it being an E-machine. I was literally having to system restore the Millennium Edition every time I wanted to use it. So
How do you even let your system get that bad?
I don't know. But
Okay, alright, I'll actually say that one of my online friends, Varus, apparently does have it that bad, where he has to reinstall Windows on a weekly basis.
why?
I don't know.
What kind of porn is he looking at?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you gotta wonder sometimes. Like,
You're gonna die.
I'm not gonna die. I'm going to totally die. Shut up. No, I'm not gonna die. See? Look at me all being alive and shit. Oh, shit. Oops.
Look at you dying. But anyways, before I got my 360, I rented Oblivion, because it wasn't Oblivion on like a launch, one of the 360.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Like, I remember.
Well, I remember renting it from my public library and putting it on that shitty E-machine. I cranked the graphics all the way down.
Oh, no.
What?
I found Acrid. I can't help myself. I have to.
Oh, no.
Remember the one guy that I found the last time we tried to record this?
Oh, yeah. You found him again?
Yep.
Well, dude, I mean, wow, let's definitely get more characters. Oh,
Except he has 5,000 hit points!
it seems to be going down.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. If for some reason, like, people are having trouble, like, reading the numbers and stuff on this, keep in mind that that's 5 times my current hit points.
Yeah, but you've already got more health than this. It seems to go down pretty fast.
Well, yeah, I am dragging him through fire, and got a run on him and everything. Oh, and now here comes an inventory.
Oblivion's like 10 frames a second and loading screens. Because I remember, like, I did the tutorial and I made like an archer, and the highlight of the game was getting to the arena and just seeing that new screen. Because it's like, I got
Yes!
Well, good. Now we've got, what, 3 characters?
Yeah, man, and one of them is one of my favorites.
Good. What makes him good?
You'll find out. His regular attack is, like, just seriously one of the fastest things in the game. He can just deal damage in, like, if you get him stuff that, like, gives stun and knockback, he can deal damage faster than almost any other character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
My definite favorite character is the Huntress, but she's one that you don't unlock, and she's admittedly there's a reason for that. I mean, she is kind of like like, you know, in like what I'm doing now, I have to basically stick 2 of them.
Yeah, but they're easy. You see me fight these guys.
Yeah.
go
Oh,
to an
shit.
you just go to an area where they can't hit you up there. Can't they like not jump or even walk over ledges?
Yeah, but I'm getting pelted by missiles.
From what?
Well, some of the characters fire missiles.
Well, you were fine over there. Why didn't you just fight those?
Because there were missile people, so... Well, you should have seen the missiles being fired at me. Oh, you're stupid.
But, yeah.
How can you be so hurtful? Hey!
It, Oblivion made that computer die. I'm actually trying to remember how and what place.
I don't know.
Oh,
The current Dell that I have as a router, we had for the longest time. There's a game that I'm particularly fond of, which is an RTS first-person shooter, vehicle shooter, hybrid, by the name of Battlezone 2. I'm only mentioning it like that because it's fairly obscure.
Man, I've heard of it.
Yeah. I got that for Christmas when I was a little kid from my one of my grandfathers was like a major like tech guy. Like he always had to have the latest computer and whatever. He got it. He got that and like the weird like 2000s remake of like asteroids with like top-down kind of pseudo 3D graphics or whatever.
Yeah.
It played a lot like Beat Hazard, honestly. Pretty cool. But that I couldn't play for like 5 years because all the computers we had were just completely capable of running it. And even then, 5 years later, I had to play it on the lowest settings.
Yeah, but I'm sure that gave you like so much anticipation.
I had forgotten about it by that point. To be honest,
really?
like it had gotten to the point where it was like I didn't even think about it anymore. And then it was like, oh yeah, this old game that I got really years ago.
Well, I remember when I got, because I remember now, the E-Machine, even though it was technically mine, my mom, and this was awesome, it was like right after I graduated high school, because I had another kid. And she's like, I told her, I'm like, well, I'm going to school, which of course turned out fantastically, but I was like, I'm going to school.
Hey man, you got a job in Guitar Center briefly.
I was like, I'm going to take the computer with me. And she goes, well, no, I'm used to this one. Let's just go to Best Buy and I'll just buy you one. No, and we're not ready. We had we came into some money at the time. And so I'm
Murdering
just...
your father. Sorry. I'm going to give all these people the impression that your mom just like runs around murdering people.
No, quite the opposite, actually. It was, I mean, I don't really think I should discuss it. But she actually did a very good thing, and we came into some money for it. But so when she took me over and I bought a HP Herman machine, get it, and I had that up until the one I've got now. Where was I going with this? Oh,
Finally playing Oblivion. Haven't we been trying to talk about this for like 3.5 months now?
Finally.
Like it's.
Well, no, I got it for console. I got it for console when I got my 360 out. Not terribly long after it came out, but I just remember, like looking at I would get like PC Gamer magazines, and I would just remember like the nights of looking longfully at the ads for the games that I knew my computer could never handle. And since, I mean, when I got the graduation gift computer, that was one thing. But like, my whole life it was, you know, we were poor, so it was like, someday I'll go back and play all these games that I never did.
Well, I mean,
Kind of did.
yeah.
That's just thankfully due to the fact that the used games market in this area is really nice. I've heard
Except for the one time that you tried to buy me Dead Rising 2 and it just didn't have a CD key.
Well, that was half price, so that wasn't used. That was just
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, that was seriously strange. I'm like, oh, this is great. And I go home and I try to install it. It's like, please enter CD key. And I'm like, what? And they just look, and it's just like, there's nothing there. And like, I go to the site, and it's like, oh yeah, there should be a CD key in the booklet. And I'm like, I didn't get a booklet. And apparently their policy on that is, too bad, screw you.
I saw something today on page where somebody wrote their congressman in Kansas because they were voting to outlaw that app that they use to have people come pick you up. It's like taxi driving.
Oh, yeah. My parents tried to get me to do that for the longest time. They're like, but you love driving everywhere. I'm like, yeah, but I hate people.
Oh yeah, for the worst. Especially you.
Mister.
Huh?
Fred Dwarf.
Oh, I said listen.
Yeah.
Like the audience.
Oh, I thought you were talking to
No.
me.
No, the audience. Fuck those guys.
Well, I mean, it's not as if I hate people. It's just so afraid of them.
They are. Human beings are something weird. But like,
Oh, yeah, missile spam. Across!
but like, okay, so they're voting to make that illegal. And this woman wrote Congress on behalf of her husband, her representative. Like, hey, people like my husband really depend on this to get from place to place. And, you know, please don't make it illegal. Apparently, well, she emailed that to him. Emailed her back and said, I'm sending this back to you because I don't want it. Like,
What?
yeah.
Does he understand how computer? Well, obviously not. I mean, he got into Congress somehow.
Like, it was literally
He had to
like,
get the senior vote.
I don't give a shit about you. Fuck off.
Wow.
I wish I remember the name. Just, I mean, if anybody watched this, you know, from
Yeah,
Kansas,
if
it'd be
you-
like, hey, you live in a state where this guy makes your laws.
Like, please move or, you know, vote. Well, see, I don't know how the political stuff in Kansas is. I mean, like, here...
I think you get voted into power based on how many years of you
Oh! I feel just
The
so
comment,
smart.
The comment was so bad. You died.
Oh, a slightly embarrassing death. Oh, but I unlocked 2 new characters. So, this has been a net gain for us. So, let's try out Acre.
Do it.
Do it!
So, no, does the game, like, start over?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same levels, or...
Not necessarily. There's like a rotation, like...
What is that thing? Oh, that's you.
Boing, boing, boing.
Get a closer look. Talk really loud in the mic. Is it human?
Nope.
What is it?
It's like a...
Looks like Crash Bandicoot with a cane and pocket watch.
It's a ball and chain, because he's a prisoner.
That's one thing. If they made Risk of Rain 2, or if they have already.
No. I don't think Hapu's planning on, or Hapu or Hapo or whatever they're called. I don't know if they're actually planning on doing anything with this. It might have literally been like a one-off, and it's like, alright, well, we'll do something else now. If they do, though, I mean, this game is really fun, but
I would enjoy it more if
it had a lot of issues with online multiplayer.
versus or co-op.
It's co-op. The versus is not a thing. But it just got to the point where, like, sometimes you'd have, like, desync errors and all this stuff.
This game begs for competitive, like, versus mode. Have like 8, like 4 on 4, or 8 on 8.
Yeah, but I mean, it does have sort of a story to it, so.
Yeah, but I mean, just think about it. Take the story out, and it's just okay. You're in this level.
Yeah,
here.
just do an arena mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
There's a story.
It's it's one of those. It's like Half-Life. It's story through gameplay. So you gotta like pay attention to stuff and like you pick up on it as you go. Like the first time you go through, you'll like look at it, and you'll get all the way to the final boss, and you're just like, all right, that was weird. But then like the 10th time through or whatever, you're like, oh.
Yeah, well, I don't want to play a game 10 times to understand it.
Well, I mean, but this is a game that you're supposed to play 20 times.
I guess. I mean,
you know, you play with different characters, you try out stuff. I mean, it's, you know, it's roguelike.
As you said, like Half-Life and of course Half-Life 2, that's like one of the best ways to do it.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I really like Dark Souls' way of doing it, where on a lot of things. I mean, you can't do that with every game.
Dark Souls was particularly interesting because it was halfway between paying attention to the environment and the character interaction.
There was also a little bit of personal headcanon, and I love where you
when
can
games give you leeway to do that.
Yeah, when you're like, I wonder why the Gaping Dragon is down here, and it's like, it kind of hints like, well, maybe this.
Yeah,
maybe not.
It's like, well, maybe it's here because a regular dragon came down here and it got cursed and infected and horrifying. It's like, maybe it got down here because it was locked down here or something.
I really like. I think for me, the big one was the undead dragon in Valley of the Drakes. In my personal headcanon, Siege put that dragon there literally as just this is the worst spot I could put it. It's like literally the most awkward place. Here it is. Fuck you. Deal with it.
Well, I mean, personally, I think any reasons are more because it's a thematic element for the area. But I mean, yeah, like you gotta wonder about like the undead dragon in Priscilla's world. I mean, like, did she like keep it there out of like some weird sort of solidarity with it or something? Like,
well, see, it's funny. All of the more fucked up enemies are in the painted world. Like the wheelie guys, that weird blobby Centurion wall or
yeah,
wall.
the phalanx.
Right.
But they're defending her too, which is like is she just like taking in the rejects because she feels some like connection with them, or is there like
I don't think she
some weirder thing? Or did they like just adopt her as their goddess because?
Well, I think they were put there to protect her, and they don't really have much say in what they do. I mean, they're all
yeah.
I mean, they're all hollowed and stuff like that, so I don't really see it as sentient. I mean, the dragon's on the blob thing, I can't imagine having much of a...
Yeah, it's like 6 hollows welded together.
I mean, maybe the like, were they like raven bird people?
Oh, yeah, the harpies. Those were a good way. See, those to me were a good way to do some sort of nudity without it being... Like, God of War wanted to do that, where the harpies had, like, exposed breasts or whatever. But it wasn't supposed to be titillating, it was supposed to be like, oh my god, it's like being in a zoo.
Yeah, I remember, because if you beat the game...
there's the dev commentary.
It's like, we wanted to have the Cyclops with swinging dong.
Yeah, with his swinging nutsack, but they let us keep the insane bird monster boobs because boobs. But no, we weren't allowed to put any penis in here.
See, I think on bestial things like that, it really shouldn't matter.
Yeah, and honestly, I do feel like it helps give... Like, because the Cyclops almost feels, like, intelligent with, like, having, like, clothes and stuff. So, like, you gotta wonder. But then it's like, yeah, if it's just naked, like it's a creature, then it's like, oh, yeah, this is... Now I feel less bad for, holding your eyelid and stabbing you with a California.
I mean, maybe it's because I have no human decency, but like, if it's an M-rated game for adults or whatever, anyways, I really think developers should be able to make it almost as bad or offensive as they want. I don't get what's, yeah, kids are gonna get a hold of it, but that's not the developer or the government's responsibility.
That's not, like, if it's said it's intended for this audience, and like, oh, well, kids are gonna get it anyway. That's the parents' fault, not mine.
Maybe an Indian company should remake that General Custer go rape the Indian tied up to the
Okay, now that was a little weird.
Well, yeah, that's horrible, but like,
that's just like,
I would have
shit.
I would have no interest in that. But if somebody wanted to remake it, fine. Make it as graphic and offensive as you want. I mean, I have the right not to play that game. You know, if I see an advertisement for it, I'm not going to cry in my shower because I saw the advertisement. I'll just ignore it.
Man, if they advertise that, the hell kind of world do we live in?
Well, I guess that's the thing. Some people are worried about the common decency.
Well, I mean, that just doesn't seem like the kind of thing where you like advertise like, hey, we made a game about sexually assaulting Indians.
Well, no, I just mean like the little banner ad. Like,
oh, yeah.
Well, I think it was called Custer's Revenge.
Yeah.
Custer's Revenge.
Custer's Revenge, out now on Good Old Games. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of anyone else who would. Out now on Steam. Gabe, what have you done?
HD release. Actually, now that you say that, all I can imagine is the HD version having mod communities, mod games on it.
You know about that in Dark Souls 2, right? Where everybody like mods Gabe's portrait to their shields.
That's funny.
Yeah, like they get the, I forget what the texture replacer is called. They'll grab that and then they'll, ooh, health shrine.
Okay.
It hurts you for items. You sacrifice health to get items. It's like,
how much can you do that?
Until it breaks. I've encountered at least one that there's some that are specific health, and then there are others that have a percentage health, but they give you guaranteed 2 items if they succeed. I had one that went all the way up to 99% of my health. It was just like, all right, I gotta, because I mean,
you just wait till you're full health.
Well, yeah, but once you activate the teleporter, they break. So that you can't just sit around forever.
Well, don't activate the teleporter.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, and see, there was another health shrine.
Oh, see? You said that's what you get for being a little rebellious shit.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Okay,
all I wanted was an Xbox.
Custer's Revenge. Instead of Custer, it's you, the consumer. Instead of arrows, because you've seen the gameplay, right? So you run, you dodge the arrows to get to the Indian. Instead of arrows, you're dodging Gaben heads. And instead of instead of the Indian, it's Half-Life 3.
Oh. Yeah, that's just too unrealistic.
Okay, we're talking about a remake of Custer's Revenge.
Yeah, but still.
And then, yeah, you know what? Actually, Custer's Revenge probably did have at least some level
degree of realism to it, which is
Custer probably did rape the shit out of some.
which is like, yeah, he's one of our American heroes. It's like, dude, he was probably
Does anybody
just like,
view him that way? Man?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
No, I don't know these things. Who are you people?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, it was like, yeah, it was the story of the fallen hero, the once heroic general that became a shit ass and decided to be racist and kill a bunch of Indians and fuck with them because they weren't him.
Like, you're just not white enough for the Being Alive Club. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. The Being Alive Club, very exclusive membership.
Which actually kind of makes me think, Darkest of Days? You're a guy, you're in Custer's last stand, and you put down as missing in action, so these time police soldiers pick you up, and now you're like a time soldier.
In the time, soldier ring war.
Well, it's like you're in Custer's last stand. Then they send you back to the Civil War, which just now hit me that actually wouldn't be that weird to the guy, because your character probably...
It's like, hey, I was here.
Yeah. But it is cool because it's like, oh look, it's a firing line of Confederates. And then the game's like, we have to keep, things the way that they were. Except for when we don't. And it's like, here's their firing line. Here's a machine gun. The game was disappointing, but because it only went between a couple different time periods. They should have.
What?
Huh?
Oh.
That sucks.
Failed at life.
Well,
But it has been about an hour now, so...
let's just chalk this up as a failure.
A failure on the part of everyone involved.
Which is just
Ben!
us. Fuck!
How dare you make me lose that game so bad?
Try hard. How do we end? No, like for real, how do we stop recording?
What?
How do we stop recording?
I hit the button that makes it stop recording.
Well, hit the button!
I don't want to hit the button!